The 2013 Australian $1 coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a notable representative of modern Australian coinage, reflecting the country's enduring constitutional monarchy and its rich numismatic legacy. Issued by the Royal Australian Mint, the coin serves both as legal tender and a piece of cultural heritage. The standard circulating version of this coin bears the effigy of Queen Elizabeth, two on the obverse, and the famous mob of roos, a group of 5 bounding kangaroos on the reverse, a design that has become iconic in Australia and a staple of everyday transactions since its introduction. In 1984, the 2013 issue continues this tradition, encapsulating themes of national identity, economic continuity, and monarchic symbolism in a modernized context. The obverse of the coin features the 4th portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by British artist Ian Rank. Rodley. This effigy, introduced in 1998, portrays the Queen facing right, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Unlike earlier portraits, Rank Broadley's depiction is more realistic and less idealized, showing the Queen with age-appropriate features marking a respectful acknowledgement of her maturity and long reign. Surrounding the portrait is the legend Elizabeth to Australia 2013, identifying the monarch, the country of issue, and the year of minting. The portrait and legend reflect Australia's status as a constitutional monarchy and a member of the Commonwealth realm, where Queen Elizabeth II was still the reigning sovereign in 2013. Even as debates about republicanism subtly continued. Across public discourse, on the reverse, the design by Stuart Devlin, the official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen, remains one of the most beloved and enduring images in Australian coinage, depicting 5 red kangaroos in various dynamic poses. The mob of roos is a tribute to Australia's unique fauna and a symbol of national vitality, movement, and freedom. This design has featured on the $1 coin since the denomination's first release in 1984. And although numerous commemorative issues have been released over the years, the standard Devlin reverse remains in wide circulation. The single word $1 appears at the base of the design in uppercase letters, reinforcing the coin's denomination in bold yet simple typography. Struck in aluminum bronze, the coin has a mass of 9.00 grams, a diameter of 25.00 millimeters, and a thickness of 2.80 millimeters. The alloy used composed of 92% copper, 6% aluminum, and 2% nickel gives the coin its characteristic golden color and ensures durability. Especially critical for circulating coinage in a wide geographical country like Australia. The edge is intermittently milled, a design feature that aids in tactile recognition and also helps prevent counterfeiting. These physical properties reflect the Mint's adherence to international standards while tailoring coinage to Australia's unique monetary and environmental needs. In 2013, Australia did not face any currency redesigns or major monetary reforms, but the production of the standard $1 coin continued steadily, with millions of coins minted for general circulation. Although the standard mob of roos design dominated, the Royal Australian Mint also issued commemorative and collector editions in 2013, marking events such as the centenary of Canberra and celebrating the Australian Parliament. These variants were often made in uncirculated proof or selectively colored finishes, catering to collectors and numismatists globally. From a historical perspective, the 2013 $1 coin reflects the later period of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, which by then had surpassed 6 decades, making her one of the longest-reigning monarchs in British and Commonwealth history. In Australia, while support for the monarchy persisted, there were growing conversations about national identity, reconciliation with Indigenous communities, and possible constitutional changes, all of which made the symbolism of the monarch on currency both poignant and politically charged. Nevertheless, The Queen's image remained a stabilizing force and a reminder of Australia's historical ties to the British Crown, especially for older generations and conservative constituencies in the numismatic community. The 2013 $1 coin is widely available in circulated condition and holds minimal premium over face value in everyday states. However, uncirculated examples, especially in mint rolls or mint sets, as well as proof versions, are more desirable among collectors. The Royal Australian Mint also offered annual coin sets that included the 2013 $1, struck in higher detail and packaged for presentation. For coin collectors focusing on date runs, monarch portrait variations, or thematic collections. On kangaroos or Commonwealth coinage, the 2013 issue remains a necessary addition. Moreover, coins struck with errors, such as double strikes, off-centering, or die cracks, occasionally appear in the market and can command higher premiums depending on rarity and severity. The legacy of the 2013 $1 coin extends beyond its monetary value. It functions as a living symbol of Australia's blend of monarchic tradition and national independence, fusing British royal heritage with distinctly Australian imagery and values. With Queen Elizabeth II's passing in 2022 and the anticipated transition of future coinage to reflect King Charles III, coins, like the 2013 $, become part of a closed chapter in numismatic history, capturing the image of a monarch who defined a century and witnessed dramatic global transformations. As such, the 2013 Australian $1 coin stands not only as currency, but also as a time capsule, bearing the legacy of a sovereign, the artistry of its engravers, and the evolving story of Australia itself. Next top. The 2015 Australian $1 coin, featuring Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, is a notable specimen in both Australian numismatics and Commonwealth coinage more broadly. Issued by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, this coin continues a lineage that began in 1984, when the $1 denomination was first introduced to replace the Australian $1 banknote. The 2015 issue holds significance not only as a representation of Australia's modern small currency system, but also as a commemorative marker in the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, whose image appeared on Australian coins from 1953 until her death in 2022. Struck in aluminum bronze alloy, 92% copper, 6% aluminum, 2% nickel. The coin has a diameter of 25.00 millimeters, a thickness of 2.80 millimeters, and weighs 9.00 grams, providing a sturdy and distinguishable presence in the pocket or collector's case. On the obverse side, the coin bears the familiar effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, a design by Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials IRB appeared just beneath the neckline of the Queen. This effigy, introduced in 1998, portrays the Queen with a dignified realism, aged yet poised, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara tribute to her role as a unifying symbol among Commonwealth nations. The legend around the portrait reads Elizabeth to Australia 2015, firmly establishing both sovereign authority and national origin. The reverse side features the iconic and beloved mob of roos designed by artist Stuart Devlin, who is the official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen. This design, used since the first issue in 1984, portrays a dynamic group of 5 bounding kangaroos, layered to create the illusion of movement and vitality, symbolizing Australia's distinctive wildlife, environment, and untamed spirit. This imagery remains one of the most recognizable among modern Australian coins. Around the kangaroos appears the denomination $1 in bold uppercase letters. The Devlin design is highly praised for its artistic composition and symbolic resonance. It has become emblematic of Australia's post-decimal currency identity. Although numerous commemorative $1 coin issues were released in 2015, such as those celebrating Anzac Centenary, and lest we forget themes, the standard circulation. Coin for this year retained Devlin's Mob of Ruse, cementing its enduring appeal. These coins were produced in high numbers for general circulation, but special mint sets, proof issues, and uncirculated collector's versions were also struck, often with superior finish and sharper details, enhancing their numismatic value. From a historical perspective, the 2015 issue occurred during a relatively stable period in Australian monetary and political history. The Royal Australian Mint continued its mission to produce circulating currency, commemorative pieces, and bullion-grade investment coins with a commitment to quality and heritage. At the same time, Queen Elizabeth II was approaching the longest reign of any British monarch, a milestone she would achieve later that same year in September 2015, surpassing Queen Victoria. Thus, coins minted this year became inadvertently tied to a broader historical narrative, that of a monarchy bridging centuries, and a coinage system evolving to reflect both tradition and change. The economic backdrop in Australia in 2015 included moderate inflation, stable employment figures, and a housing market that continued to rise, factors that influenced coin production quantities and circulation rates. Meanwhile, the Royal Australian Mint engaged the public in educational outreach, and many of the year's releases, including the $1 coin, were part of efforts to encourage coin collecting among young Australians in the collector's market. The standard 2015 $1 circulation coin is not particularly rare, as it was struck in large numbers. However, coins in uncirculated mint condition, especially those from mint sets, can fetch a modest premium among enthusiasts. Coins struck with errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double rim anomalies can command higher interest. There is also a growing appreciation among collectors of year sets, where coins of the same year are grouped together, often enhancing the value of a standard coin like the 2015 $1. Some numismatists also examine subtle variations in the metal toning, strike pressure, or die deterioration stages to distinguish different states of preservation, adding layers of technical interest to an otherwise common piece. Over time, as more coins are removed from circulation through attrition or collection, even standard issues like the 2015 $1 may increase in value and importance, especially for those assembling full chronological collections of modern Australian coinage. Culturally, the coin remains a symbol of Australia's ties to the British monarchy. Yet, its kangaroo design is entirely Australian, striking a balance between colonial heritage and national identity. The enduring presence of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse reflects decades of constitutional continuity, while the energetic reverse design captures the dynamism of the Australian landscape. Together, the two sides of the 2015 $1 coin convey a narrative of legacy, land, and loyalty, a trifecta that continues to define Australia's place in the modern world. Whether used in everyday commerce or cherished in a collector's album, the coin tells a story not only of metal and minting, but of a nation's pride, its environment, and its people. In conclusion, the 2015 Australian $1 coin is a rich convergence of art, economy, and history. It stands as a daily artifact of Australia's monetary system, a tribute to Queen Elizabeth II's extraordinary reign, and a vivid emblem of Australian wildlife through Stuart Devlin's timeless kangaroo design. Though common in circulation, its context and craft offer layers of meaning that elevate it far beyond its nominal face value. As time advances and the memory of Queen Elizabeth's long reign becomes part of the historical record, coins like this will only grow in narrative and numismatic significance. Next top. The 2016 Australian $1 coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a captivating blend of modern minting technology, national symbolism, and evolving cultural narrative encapsulated in a small yet potent disc of metal. This coin, issued by the Royal Australian Mint RAM, stands as part of Australia's decimal currency system. And its story stretches across decades of monarchic legacy, numismatic evolution, and the identity of the nation itself in the 21st century. Obverse, the monarch's enduring legacy, the obverse of the 20161. Dollar coin features the fifth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, a prominent British sculptor whose initials IRB are subtly inscribed beneath the neckline of the Queen. This portrait, introduced in 1998, presents the Queen in right-facing profile, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic and frequently depicted accessories. Rank Broadley's portrait is distinguished by its realism and maturity, showing the Queen with a composed expression, modest jewelry, an evident age-on intentional departure from previous portraits that idealized her image. The artist wished to convey dignity, resilience, and reality rather than youthfulness, highlighting her role as a sovereign with over 6 decades of experience at that point. The image also subtly acknowledges Australia's constitutional monarchy, as the Queen remains head of state despite increasing Republican sentiments. Surrounding her portrait are the inscriptions: Elizabeth II, the Queen's name; Australia, the issuing country; and 2016, the year of issue. The placement and typography remain consistent with earlier versions of the coin, continuing Australia's numismatic tradition of showcasing the reigning monarch on its legal tender. Reverse, the iconic Mob of Ruse, the reverse design of the standard circulating 2016 $1 coin showcases the Mob of Ruse design, perhaps the most famous and iconic reverse motif in Australian decimal currency. First introduced in 1984 when the $1 coin replaced the $1 banknote. This reverse was designed by Stuart Devlin, Australia's official goldsmith and renowned coin designer. Devlin's artwork portrays 5 agile kangaroos, bounding energetically in various dynamic poses. Their bodies overlap in a swirling pattern that fills the circular coin surface, creating movement, strength, and vitality, a fitting representation of the Australian spirit and landscape. The kangaroo, as Australia's most recognizable marsupial, is a powerful national symbol, chosen here not as a solitary creature, but as a mob, symbolizing community and vitality. Above the central design is the denomination, $1, clear and bold, directly identifying its monetary value. The coin's reverse has been in consistent use on the circulating dollar coin for over 40 years, with only occasional interruptions for commemorative issues, composition, dimensions, and minting details. The 2016 $1 coin was minted for general circulation and struck in aluminium bronze, composed of 92% copper, 6% aluminium, and 2% nickel. This alloy gives the coin its warm, golden hue, durability, and resistance to tarnishing qualities ideal for coins subjected to heavy use. Mass, 9.00 grams diameter, 25.00 thickness, 2.80 edge, interrupted reading alternating smooth and milled. Sections, a unique security feature among Australian coins, as a circulating coin. The $20,161 was produced in large numbers by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, and also saw numerous special editions and collector variants, which will be detailed below. Mintage and collector variants. Standard circulation strike of the 2016 $1 coin saw millions of pieces distributed across Australia, continuing to serve the everyday transactional needs of the public. However, 2016 was also a significant year numismatically, as it marked 50 years of decimal currency in Australia, introduced in 1966. To celebrate this, the Royal Australian Mint released multiple commemorative $1 coins alongside the regular Mob of Ruse design. Key collector issues included 1 2016 decimal currency 50th anniversary $1 coin, featuring a special design inspired by the pre-decimal shilling coin. Showing a ram's head, a nod to George Kruger Gray's original 1937 design. Point 2. Mint and proof. Sets special, uncirculated, and proof versions of the Mob of Ruse coin struck with exceptional care. Intended for collectors. 3. Privy mark and counterstamp. Additions, limited edition coins with tiny additional symbols like the C for Canberra or M for Melbourne, enhancing their desirability among enthusiasts. These special issues are sought after by numismatists and collectors both, domestically and abroad, especially when preserved in pristine, uncirculated, or proof condition. Symbolic and cultural context. The Actise 16 Australian $1 coin exists not just as a unit of currency, but as a cultural artifact. It bridges Australia's colonial past, represented by the British monarch, and its modern national identity, represented by the kangaroon indigenous creature found nowhere else in the world. The coexistence of these elements highlights the country's complex history and current political balance, where constitutional monarchy still prevails despite ongoing discussions about becoming a republic. The coin's year 2016 was also politically and socially significant in Australia. It marked milestones such as the 50th anniversary of decimalisation, which was heavily promoted by the Royal Australian Mint through educational programs, exhibitions, and special issues, bringing coins and currency into public focus and renewing interest in numismatic stock circulation and everyday use. And 2016, the $1 coin continued to play a major role in daily transactions across Australia. It is commonly used in vending machines, parking meters, retail purchases, and public transport. Its robust design ensures longevity in circulation. Some coins from the 1980s are still commonly found in wallets and tills across the country. Despite inflation and the increasing use of digital payments, the $1 coin remains indispensable. Collectability, value, and market outlooks of now. A standard circulated 2016 Mob of Ruse $1 coin typically holds face value in the general market, unless in uncirculated proof or special mint mark conditions. Collector versions, especially those with low mintages or special designs, can fetch higher values ranging from $5 to $50 plus a UD, depending on rarity and condition. Complete year sets or RAM-issued coin folders are also popular among collectors. Coins graded by professional services such as NGC or PCGS with a high grade MS65 and above may command even greater premiums. In summary, the $20,161 coin of Australia, bearing the image of Queen Elizabeth II and the celebrated Mob of Ruse reverse, serves as a tangible representation of Australia's economic framework, monarchic continuity, cultural heritage, and artistic excellence. From the precise strokes of Ian Rank Broadley's regal portrait to the bounding dynamism of Stuart Devlin's kangaroos, this coin captures the duality of tradition and identity that defines Australia. More than a means of exchange, it is a silent witness to everyday life and national history, a metallic emblem of a nation in perpetual motion. Much like the kangaroos, it proudly displays